is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show. Soundoff60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Welcome back to the show. We're here for another week, another 60 minutes at Jack Daniel's at L'Auberge Casino in Lake Charles. That would be Mr. Guidry on the far end, Scooter Hobbs in the middle, and
Yes.
Rick Serro. You kind of heard that already in our fantastic show open. You know, we got a couple of big guests coming on. They've been here before. Brooks Donald-Williams, Cowgirls head basketball coach, Dave Simmons. This might be the first time, maybe the second, we've had them back-to-back.
Really?
I mean, well, usually they come on,
right,
and another one might be scheduled a couple of weeks. But the reason why we're doing a lot of basketball is because why?
Conference tournament.
Conference tournament is this week in Katy, Texas. They both play, unfortunately, on Wednesday. That means what, Mr. Hobbs?
Means they didn't get a bye.
You are correct, sir. And you get a bell for that.
Yes.
So Brooks Donald-Williams, Dave Simmons will join us a little bit later on in the show, but we've got football and basketball to talk about. Believe it or not, we got more than a few interesting things with football. Let me start off with the New Orleans Saints and reports out of New Orleans, and I would agree with you. Number one free agent priority is protecting Drew Brees' backside.
That's always
which means they got to sign their left tackle, Jerron Bushrod.
Well,
and right now,
it's
iffy.
Well, I think it's 50-50.
50-50.
Everything you hear is 50-50. Does that make it iffy?
I would say iffy, yeah. I would say iffy, 50-50, yeah. I don't know what's iffy in your book.
Well, when Scooter say that, this is what it's going to be, guys. That has to happen. You can look at it how you want, but that has to happen.
He's a two-time Pro Bowler, and he's still a young man.
How can you not protect your most
going
valuable
to
guy?
happen or should happen or needs to
It's got to happen. Whether it should happen.
Going to or gotta?
Going to happen. It's going to happen.
I don't know.
But, look, you've got one of the premier players, your most valuable player, which is Drew Brees.
Right.
How do you not take that as top priority?
It's called the cap. It's called the cap.
Yeah,
right. But you can do other things.
I
know.
Who was the lineman last year they let go? Everybody said the same thing.
Carl Nix.
Carl Nix.
You're right.
Highly paid.
Yeah.
Went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And they got an All-Pro in Ben Grubbs.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Not.
Let me say
didn't blow my skirt up, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
What? Is that a bad analogy? I don't wear skirts. I'm not Scottish.
Blow his skirt up?
All right. So, he didn't blow me away. Okay. He came in from Baltimore. But here's did a little digging. Didn't take much to find this out.
Right.
Vilma, $8.6 million against the cap.
That's high.
Will Smith,
that's high.
14.7.
That's high.
Will Smith.
They're not coming in at those numbers.
Yeah, I'm with you, Scooter.
They're not
I'm not seeing it.
They're not coming back at those numbers.
But this is the thing. When you look at it, you know, Brees, I mean, you do whatever you have to do to be underneath the cap by protecting Drew Brees. That's all I'm saying. You do what you have to do.
You know, and here's the bottom line. Here's the sidebar to that.
Right.
I poked around
a
little bit.
You spend all this money on an offensive lineman.
Not just an offensive lineman, but your left tackle.
Yeah, your left tackle. All right. What's the problem? Defense.
Scooter, I know what you're saying, Scooter.
But the core has been the stability of the offensive line.
Yeah.
And you say they got rid of, they lost a center. Remember that whole center thing? Remember the All-Pro guy? I can't remember his name. Came in from the Chicago Bears. I think he retired not even with the full year under his belt.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Retired, but they got a good one in De La Puente. And they replaced Nix with a Grubbs, an All-Pro. I understand that. But the core of the Saints offense has been, over the years, the stability of that offensive line.
I agree.
And I'm with you. With you. It's got to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen.
It's got to happen.
Unless Vilma and Smith restructure. We talked about this a month ago.
But that's what I'm saying.
They had to restructure.
And every team does that, Rick. But the thing is that when you look at it, you wanna make changes on the defense, which there's needed changes there. But if Brees is on the bench, whether or not you can stop somebody, but you can't score points.
That's true.
So
I know you're taking the exaggerated point on this.
Yeah.
But almost 23 to 24 million against the cap.
That's a lot.
Two, you know, they play with a lot of heart.
I know what
Vilma
you're saying.
and Smith.
But that's going to be, I'm under the impression Sean Payton loves both of them.
Okay.
But I mean, particularly when there are questions, there's questions if they fit into what the Saints are going to do with a 3-4. I mean, there's no way you can pay them like that.
Who goes?
There's just no way.
Maybe
both of them.
You cut?
Maybe
Really?
both. You know. Go younger there.
Who would you cut?
Because
if you came down to one player, Smith or Vilma?
That's a tough question.
It is tough. It is
tough. That's a tough question. Because I'm not going to throw a name out because that's tough.
Okay, so that's, you know, Bushrod is their #1 priority. And you know, I did some poking around and I looked at, this is just a rating service, a couple of media outlets. I didn't see a standout left tackle as an unrestricted free agent that they might go out and try to get. Now, if he's an unrestricted free agent and he's a stalwart, he's going to cost money too.
But
more than re-signing Bushrod,
maybe.
Probably.
But I didn't see a lot of them out there.
Even if you've got somebody out there, Rick, with the way that he's played with Drew Brees, you can't take a chance on finding somebody because you got to meet the salary cap. You can't do it.
Okay.
You can't do it.
All right, so it's 50-50. I agree with you. It's iffy still. More than likely, either restructure or at least one of those veterans will probably go. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is both. Maybe it is both. Junior Gillette did re-sign over the weekend, 3 years, and now they're talking about shifting him. Now, he was a restricted free agent from a defensive line to a linebacker, again, because of the
3-4. But I mean, to me, that makes no sense.
Huh?
I mean, two very popular players in New Orleans, but
I know
it's a business.
It is.
You got to be realistic.
You're right.
All right. We didn't get into this last week, but I'm going to tie it in because we're on to the NFL. Because it occurred, I think, the very next day of last week's show. Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP down in the Crescent City.
Yeah.
$126 million over 6 years. Now the highest paid player in the NFL. Right or wrong, deserving or not?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
I would say...
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
It's the opposite of Drew Brees. Drew Brees had to wait on his money. Drew Brees was underpaid for a lot of years.
For a long time, Scooter.
This guy is getting his money early. He won his Super Bowl early. To me, it's a little bit early.
Let me...
okay?
No, I think it's way early, Scooter. Let me tell you why.
And guess what? And guess what?
He's not taking the fifth anymore.
This time next year, we'll be talking about, well, Flacco is restructuring his contract to keep some offensive linemen around or whatever.
Yeah. He's not going to restructure the guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Look, he's getting $29 million in guaranteed.
He's getting that. That's guaranteed.
And you can't blame the guy. Look, that's the market. That's the market. You say he's not worth it.
I would never say that, but I'm saying
he got him to the playoffs every year.
Let me ask you this here.
He's got the highest winning percentage on the road, more than Tom Brady.
And you're right. But what if next year? What if next year this time we're saying, "Boy, what happened to Flacco?"
Well,
because it happens every time you come back off of a Super Bowl.
He won him a Super Bowl.
Whether it's the quarterback or whoever,
won them the Super Bowl.
It's like, what happened? What happened?
But here's what
you got to pay him. But you think
said, and you're right. You know, because that's the market.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And Drew Brees certainly, quote, deserved what he got. But how can Drew Brees, how can that be the market if a year later they really can't afford to pay him that, not because they don't have the money, because of the cap?
Yeah.
How can that be the market?
Baltimore is shoved into a corner. They may not be able to sign
How can that be the market?
Look.
I don't understand.
And they've got to know that. They've got to know that before they do it.
Of course they know that. Yeah. But you got to make the guy happy. He's your leader, and he won you the Super Bowl. He pretty much, to a large degree, single-handedly got him to the Super Bowl.
Drew Brees is going to end up having to restructure. He may not have to lose any money.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going to defer it and probably end up paying for it later. But I mean, how really and truly can that be the market value?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Destroys the equilibrium of your cap.
I'm kind of with you on that. I'm kind of with you. It's maybe above my pay grade in regards to how they're going to work all this out. Pay him now, restructure down the road, give him his guaranteed money, $29 million first year, $51 over 2 years. Keep him happy.
That's a lot.
Keep him happy. All right. It's mind-boggling to me. I like Joe Flacco. Mind-boggling to me that Joe Flacco is higher paid than a Drew Brees and a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And a Peyton Manning. He's #1, and Aaron Rodgers.
But let's look at it.
Drew
Brees, I know, but Drew Brees was underpaid for 5 years.
And he had to
and he was. But let's look at it.
3.
The Saints flourished.
Yes.
Maybe it's because they had the money.
Yes.
Now, Drew Brees is getting paid, and the Saints are scrambling around trying to
scramble, but they all have to scramble.
I know. They all
have to scramble.
I'm sure that story's being told
wasn't
everywhere.
up against a free agent year, though, and he didn't scream about getting,
I agree. I mean, he could have held out any of those 5 years.
Yeah. He could have been pounding on the table.
He played his
credit
contract.
for that. Give him credit for that.
I do give him credit.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, a lot of football. We got swashbuckler football, game 1 under their belts. We'll deal with that later on in the show. When we come back, I want to talk again, public-private state legislature. Something you guys didn't want to hear.
We said that they were not going to get involved in this.
And they are involved. We'll do that and more when Soundoff 60 comes right back to Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
Soundoff 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
At Tarver Ford, when we do a truck sale, we do it big, like 10 grand off big.
Come see us today and take 10 grand off MSRP on brand new 2012 Ford F-150s, F-250s, and F-350s. Take your pick, then take $10,000 off MSRP, 11 grand off MSRP if you finance with Ford. Plus, 0% for 60 months is available, 0 for 60.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford off I-10 exit 21 in Sulphur.
When it comes to Miller time, battles aren't just fought by the man in the ring. They're shared by the men in his corner. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Big Easy got the flavor, so easy to share. Always a crowd pleaser, easy to prepare. Big Easy, you always taste so good. You got Louisiana flavor, wrapped up so tight. Pick up some Big Easy foods tonight. Introducing Big Easy Foods in stores now.
All right, welcome back to Jack. What does Maserati mean to you guys?
Fast.
It's that thing I passed when I got off the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Fast.
You got to get down to L'Auberge Casino.
Yeah.
Go by one of the corridor corners by Ember's Restaurant, which is a fine restaurant indeed. Take a look at this. I don't know, what is it, $250,000, Kevin?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $250,000 car giveaway. It's a Maserati.
Easy.
It's got to be Italian.
It
Let's
is.
not go there.
No,
Leave that
I'm
one
not,
alone.
I'm not.
The Italians
They
do
make good
fast
cars. They make good cars.
They do like great. It's a beautiful car.
It is.
You can come down and try to win it.
You've got to look at the inside of it. I mean, look at
how
the
you're
inside
going to
of
do
it.
it, but take a look at it.
It looks like a spaceship if you look at the inside of it. It's
beautiful color, too. It's an interesting color.
It's a very good color.
It's an interesting color.
It's right there at the elevator to the parking
Yeah,
garage.
you got to check it out. March 22nd, though, let me shift gears music-wise. It's Matchbox 20. At least one of the guys in that band probably has a Maserati. That would be Rob Thomas, the lead singer. I don't know. You might be right. Matchbox 20 is coming to L'Auberge Casino. It is sold out, but you never know. I don't know how you can do it. We want to let you know that the concert's going on.
It's going to be jam-packed.
But there might be tickets somewhere if you keep, I don't know, asking.
Yeah.
All right. We got more music shows and concerts we want to tell you about a little bit later on in the show. We'll do that. Some great shows at great prices right outside the pool. And we'll let you know when the pool party gets cranked up as well.
That's
coming up in May. Very, very soon. All right. The Louisiana High School Athletic Association, public versus private 2013 season, splitting the playoff format. We all know the story.
Right.
Where we left it, we've been talking about this over the last
quite some time.
6, maybe 7 weeks. Now, you especially hate when a state legislature gets involved.
I do.
Now they appear to be involved only from a committee hearing standpoint. I don't know what committee it is. Some some budget committee or something or other. I don't know. The American Press reported that. Chuck Cleckley spoke with me about 3 or 4 weeks ago, said get ready because it's probably going to end up in a committee because enough of the legislators are screaming about it.
Rick, I guess, and those
it's
that are
front
watching,
and center. It's front and center.
What can they do? How can they address this?
I mean, they could do something,
They
I'm
could figure
sure.
something out. But I don't think it would be a bill. Maybe it's just some kind. What's the term they would use? I don't know. A measure.
Amendment. Make some
a
type
measure to say, Athletic Association, we really urge you to take another look at this or something.
Well,
Pressure.
they would be right. You know, you know my feelings. I don't like, you know, legislators get involved with athletics.
Not this
even
issue.
when it.
Not this issue. There are some issues I don't have a problem with, but not
with
this
athletics. If
Yes.
they're going to get involved with, I mean, they obviously are involved with our schools.
Yes.
Right.
But if they get involved with that, if there's any reason for them to ever get involved in athletics, this might be it.
Really?
If nothing else,
I
just
think
to
it's
say,
backtracking now.
would you
No,
just,
I
I
wish
say
that there-
if there's ever a reason, this might be it.
Well, it appears to be, because it appears to be the
Yeah.
Athletic Association is not.
Well,
You know, we got a lot of time before the next football season.
I know, and I think I mean, I'm hoping what's happening. I'm against it. You know that.
Against what? The split? or
Against
the,
this split.
this is Rick. You know what?
Against the split, yeah.
I spoke to an educator the other day, not so much on this topic, but the question she posed to me was, she said, Kevin, I understand private versus public. I get all that. She said, but you know what gets me? She said, what happens to these schools that are underperforming, not making the grades that's needed? Where's the
You
help
talk
for
about
those kids?
academically?
Yeah, academically. Where's the help for those kids that are coming in that's not getting the grades they need, or the help, or the teachers that they need to get them the proper education? I didn't have an answer for her. What would you say to her if it was her asking you that question? I didn't have an answer for her. But it's the same as what we're talking about, though. Why are we dealing with high school playoffs and who plays who when we've got kids that are in schools that are failing?
Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
Well, I understand that, and we're not arguing that education isn't important.
Right.
But we're talking about athletics. This
Right.
is a sports show.
Right. I understand.
You know, they voted. You know, this thing had been rumored for years.
Yes.
It would come up every year for the
Yeah.
last 4 or 5 years. And it'd get a few votes and be forgotten or be tabled into one of the LHSAA's committees. Somehow, out of the blue, some people work behind the scenes, and all of a sudden, votes were there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really realized what they voted on. Just
I think
from the tune.
These, you know, come on. These are principles.
I think
mean,
they-
they're pretty smart people.
But I don't know if they realized all the consequences.
The ripple effect.
The ripple effect
right.
of
I'll
what
go
this
with
is
that.
going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the LHSA is dependent on some heavy-hitting sponsors who I don't think like this too much.
Yeah. That was brought out. That was brought out in
Yeah.
American
I know
Press
what you're
coverage.
saying.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not in support of the legislature, you know, overreaching on this issue. If they want to listen to the concerns
Right.
of parents or principals or whatever, don't spend an inordinate amount of time. They're not even in
Right.
session, are they not? I thought the session opens up
it
in
starts in April.
Okay.
April 8th.
All
It
right.
starts April
Are
8th.
you running for the state
No,
legislature?
I'm
You
just
seem to be
I'm
well
supposed to know
educated on
those
this.
things, though.
April 8th?
You want to break a
April 8th.
story?
I'm supposed to
You
know
gonna tell us
those
something? Yeah, you are. But
You
if
only
they're
knew.
able to get some clarity and able to
Yeah.
maybe refocus
Yeah.
somebody, maybe the principals, and maybe get another look at this, okay? There's a strong argument
Yeah.
not to go with this split on many fronts.
Oh.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
many
I know.
fronts.
And
On
it's
about
strong, Rick.
1,000.
And
I
it's
know
strong,
that.
Rick.
I
It's
know,
strong.
and we agree, at least agree on this one issue. It's one issue that we all seem to agree on. But I tell you, when Iowa principal Mike Oakley was on this show,
Yeah, we had him.
he did open my eyes to a few
Okay,
things.
and I
Yeah,
respect
he
his
did.
views.
He did.
But he has to look at it just from his standpoint. I
Yes.
respect his views, but I mean either. I mean, if you don't want to play them in the playoffs, don't play them in the regular
Don't play them in
season.
the regular season.
I know.
Because that's kind of
That's
like,
my
you know,
point.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
know.
of like
I know.
why do we play them in the regular season, but when it's come time for the playoff, it's like, no, we can't play. You got
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of arguments either way. We're going to leave it at that. We'll take
I
a
don't
short
like
break. We'll
that.
come right back to Jack Daniels at LeBaire. Stay right here.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBaire Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Douglas Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
When Miller time is on the line, friends don't choose sides. They root for the victory that they all get to share in together. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
So Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see the blue tags everywhere. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from Westlake to Quincy, Hackberry, Vinton, even coming across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. It's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
So Todd, give me an example of what you got going on here.
Well, Joe, we got a $299 a month lease on the F-150 crew cab, and as always, complimentary lifetime oil changes. We've got a great group of people here working real hard to serve our customers.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
As promised, it's March, and it means March Madness, and that means basketball. Cowboys head coach Dave Simmons has joined us here at Jack Daniels to kind of advance the Southland Conference basketball tournament, which starts Wednesday in Katy, Texas. Coach, we appreciate you coming in. I know it's a busy week. You start going to Katy tomorrow on a Tuesday and get ready to play on Wednesday. You don't want to play on Wednesday. You didn't want to play on Wednesday, but you're playing on Wednesday.
That's all. We had a lot.
You got a long road, don't you?
Oh, no. We had a lot to do with that. You know, how you see, you know, you don't play. But, you know, we're very fortunate, and I think the draw is probably much more in our favor than anything as far as this
From a matchup standpoint? Why?
From a matchup? Well, basically, 2 and 3 is the opposite the side we're on. We're 5 and 8. Then we have the 4 seed. We just played both of those teams the last 2 games of the season. We split with both. Nichols is our first round opponent at 5 o'clock, and who's sitting and waiting because of the bye is Southeast Louisiana, which is the 4th seed, and then you got the number 1 seed, which is Stephen F. Austin. So obviously, I mean, I think that to us, we've taken that as a positive. And you know, the battles are first you got to just win games and get to the championship, but obviously you got the 2 and 3 on the opposite side, which is obviously that's 2 back-to-back tough games.
What do you think when you've got to play an extra game? What do you think is the key to getting on a run in a tournament, particularly when you're coming off disappointment in your last regular season game?
Well, I think the last game we had was double overtime. We were very fortunate to win it, and it gave us a little boost at confidence level. And we're not, we just got to cut down on some of the mistakes we made. We're playing games, Southeastern we lose on Thursday night. You know, it's a 2-point ball game with 4 minutes left. So our IQ of it and just making plays late when you need to. I think that's the biggest thing. And of course, you got to shoot the ball well. And of course, I know you guys going to come at me with the free throws, so I'll address that earlier.
We wouldn't do that to you.
But,
we wouldn't do that to you because you know it's a problem. Why would we pounce on you?
We were much better the last 2 basketball
games. Kevin will. I won't.
But Coach, tell me, what's the mindset now when you get into tournament play? What is it? Is it a little bit different from regular season? What has to be done to where you guys are motivated to know, you know what, it's only up from here. You know, there's no staying at a certain level. You got to move up.
You're right. The level of play you got to step up, obviously, and you're in a 1-game season, and you preach that, and they know what the marbles are. If you can get to the tournament finals, you know, have an opportunity to play in the NCAA. Liberty just did it yesterday. They're 15 and 20. They won their league championship, and that's the way they're going to get in. And we're a one-league bid.
Yeah.
Only one of us is going to go to the NCAA. So obviously the tournament gives you a new life.
Yes, it does.
So that's the biggest thing. And everybody's 0-0. But we know the obstacles that we have ahead in front of us. But, you know, that's why we're here, to win games and get to that tournament. That's our goal.
McNeese head basketball coach Dave Simmons has joined us. Coming up in the next segment, Cowgirls head basketball coach Brooks Donald-Williams will also preview the Cowgirls getting ready for Wednesday play in the Southland Conference tournament. Dave, you're coming off, you split with Nichols. You're coming off buzzer beater, falling away. 29-foot miracle shot by Dante Ken, and he makes it. You win in what, a couple of overtimes? And now you got to face him again. You know, it's that rubber match. It's that, what, 4 days later you got to play these guys again. Is that an optimum type of matchup? You said you liked the matchup, but now you're coming back at them again, and they're going to be motivated.
We feel like, you know, we've had, they had two great performances in that game. Fred Hunter from Nichols had 32, and Deshard Guidry, sophomore, had 34 points. And I saw some guys on our team I liked a little bit better performance out of, but the thing is, we know each other. We just played it, so it's be like going in the backyard to me. You just toss up and the best man wins. So we've got to do some things. Of course, we can't give up 34 points by Fred Hunter in the paint, and we got to contest their three-point shooters. But I think we're a little bit different. We come at you a lot of different ways. So we don't win this game the same way every time. But I felt like we let Nichols slip away at home early in the year when we fought back and took the lead. So I feel comfortable, you know, as far as playing Nichols State on their first-round game.
You talked about it being a one-bid league. From what you've seen around the league this year, whoever emerges, what kind of chance do they have in the NCAA tournament?
Well, it's the whole draw, and some teams fit better. Of course, Stephen F. Austin has played well all year, but, you know, the matchups when you face the bigger, larger teams with numbers, where they can keep throwing numbers at you, that may present a problem if that's the case, if they were the ultimate champion. Of course, Northwestern State has depth and have numbers. You know, you depend on the matchups. Maybe their style of play may be different compared to whoever they match up. You mean a few years ago, Northwestern hit a shot at the end to win it. Beat Iowa in 30-14. So I just think it's all about matchup. I think sometimes teams underestimate the Southland Conference caliber of play, especially, you know, they're a little nervous too, going in that first round game. So obviously that's an advantage to us, and that's all say. We have nothing to lose, but just play your heart out and leave it out there. But, you know, it's a opportunity. I'll say that, and every coach in our league would love to be in that opportunity to play, no matter who it is. Is it Duke? Just Gonzaga, just being in there. The experience is nothing compared to it.
Okay, Coach, you know what the odds are now. If you play a team twice and haven't beat them the first time, you know what the odds are, but this is how you overcome that.
Oh, no question.
Have you ever been in that situation where you played? Well, I'm going to take it a little farther than you did. Where you played a team twice in a row because of?
That's the first time I've ever been in. The numbers had ended up, and we ended up tied with UCA for the final spot, and because they beat us twice, they got the 7th seed and we got the 8th. So, but we have beaten everybody besides UCA. We've beaten from 3 on down in our league. So I feel comfortable about that, knowing that you have beaten the teams that you played against. And I feel like when we played Stephen F. Austin here, and I go back to the game I was explaining to the guys today. You know, we scored 9 points the first half. They had 26. But we were 4 for 26 at a lot of point-blank shots. And I know we're better than 4 for 26. And it's hard to play, but we fought back and cut it down the second half, and actually outscored them the second half. And if we just got to get to a better start with a team of that caliber. But first, we got to beat Nichols State. So it was a moot point if you don't beat them.
Dave, in our closing 20 seconds before we wrap it up, look, I've seen this team play many times. They seem to play hard. Maybe not in all aspects of the game, but they really do. They really do play hard. Thank you, sir. Is it the continued playing hard, or you mentioned earlier about mistakes, and then you talked to me a couple of weeks ago, you gotta score points in this league.
You have to.
If you're gonna put it on a pecking board, what is it? Is it hustle for 40, however long the game lasts, Is it making points, or is it playing smart?
Well, in the coaching, we'd adjusted some things the last part of conference, and you know, even though it was double overtime, we scored 91 points the other night and 70-something the night before. I think we've kind of simplified things for our players, and a lot of times when you have an experienced ball club, you can do all those things, and they can make adjustments on the spot real quick with a voice command. Well, we still got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores playing with 2 seniors, and sometimes it's not as easy as making the adjustment. So you just simplified it. You know, our best offense is transition. If we can get in a running game, we score more points, and that's the best thing for us. And we struggle when in the half-court setting. So hopefully we got that solved the last game.
All right, so it's Wednesday at 5 o'clock, Katy, Texas at the Merrill Center. It's the McNeese Cowboys versus Nickel State. Again, all right? Number 5 seed against your number 8 seed.
Let's do it again.
Wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
it,
Coach.
Hit some free throws.
We better there. We better there.
All right, Coach. All right, short pause. Coming up next, Cowgirls basketball. Brooks Donald-Williams is up next to talk about their tournament hopes. Coming right back to Jack Daniels.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at Soundoff60.com. Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Welcome back to the show at L'Auberge Casino. Jack Daniels still talking basketball. Cowgirls basketball this time around. Head coach Brooks Donald-Williams has so kindly joined us on a busy week, a busy couple of days. All right, Coach, man, you were right there. You were right there at number 2. Maybe even squeeze in with the number 1 seed for the Southland Conference Tournament. 2-time defending champ, NCAA tournament. Well, you're going in at number 5. All right, so what happened?
You know, we played a great game against Oral Roberts. And I never dreamed we really wouldn't respond against Central Arkansas. We didn't. You know, we came out a little flat. Of course, we had the game delay and all that. We can't excuse that. I mean, so did they, you know. But, you know, I don't know. We just did not come out to play against Central Arkansas. Same thing happened the next week. Played really well at Southeastern, defended really, really well, stepped up. I thought we looked a lot better. And then go to Nichols and, kind of played with the same demeanor that we played against Central Arkansas. And that's kind of been our story all year, unfortunately. I mean, and, the twins are coming to play every day. I mean, no question about it. I mean, Ashlyn's got she's in the zone. I mean, she's got the look in her eye, and Caitlin's doing Caitlin. I mean, she shows up and, plays tremendously well, every night, every day in practice, but our young ones and inexperienced ones have been up and down, and we knew it would kind of be that way this year, but disappointed that we're not a little bit more matured in March.
Yeah. Well, how much does that concern you? I mean, let's face it, up, down. That's not the mode you want to be in when a tournament starts, because you've got to, play
win
through.
4 games.
You've got to win 4 games.
No, you're right, Scooter, no.
I mean, so what do you do to try to counteract that tendency you've had?
Well, you do everything you can. I mean, today we made practice really tough. A lot of toughness drills, even late in the year. Late in the year, you kind of try to scale back, and that's what we had been doing, scaling back as much as we can, while still trying to toughen up and teach some of the inexperienced ones. And today, it's tournament week. It's time to get tough, and it's time to show some toughness day in and day out. And I feel really good about where we are. I feel good about our draw despite the inconsistency. You know, I feel good about Northwestern and feel good about where we are today. I really do. I think we responded from the Nichols game and responded today in practice, and you know, I feel like we're ready to go. And you know, Scooter, to answer, I don't know if that really answered it, but you know, I feel good about where we are, and I think the younger ones understand that this is very important.
Right.
Coach, on the other hand, you got to think. I'll let you talk, man. I would think you got to believe you're as good as any of these teams. You can be the 5 seed. That's where they want to put you. But you got to think you're as good as any of these teams.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. And I think we still have that that confidence regardless of the inconsistency, which is good. You want the confidence going in. You know, I also think, and this may sound a little, you know, messed up, so to speak, but I also think that we play better as an underdog. We always kind of have. I mean, even last year, coming off a conference championship, you know, I still feel like our kids still felt like a little bit of an underdog, if that makes any sense.
It does.
And you know, I feel that way right now, that they're excited about our draw. You know, and maybe a little bit green to, you know, to maybe what should have been our draw or could have been our draw.
Could have been.
But I think they're really excited about where they sit as an underdog.
Coach, when you get into tournament play this part of the season, how big a factor is that experience level versus when you've got young kids? Can sometimes that play to your advantage if you've got a younger squad to maybe you can run a team in the ground? Or how big a factor when you look at it that experience comes into play to where you just got to have it on the floor?
Well, you know, I think this time of year, I mean, experience is huge. I mean, the Twins are walking on the floor.
That answers my question.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Twins are walking on the floor with that experience. You know, I guess the biggest question for us is, will everyone else follow suit behind the Twins? And that's what we're asking them to do. I mean, you got 2 kids that have done it. You've got 2 kids that are the best in the league, in my opinion. You know, and in a lot of coaches' opinion, maybe not necessarily on the all-conference ballot, but, you know, in our opinion, we think they're pretty doggone special. And I'm going to continue to fight for that.
And they are.
But I think our kids, it's time for them to follow suit behind them. And I think that's certainly to our advantage in the tournament.
Well, you got Northwestern State. First up, you can't get to Thursday, I know it sounds obvious, unless you win on Wednesday. How do you match up against Northwestern State? Give us an idea of how you fared this year, and what do you expect out of the Lady Demons as you get ready for Southern Conference?
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, they've got a new coaching staff, and they've done a tremendous job. I mean, it's just a totally different demeanor in Northwestern State right now. I mean, you know, you can see it. They've got a lot of fire and a lot of spunk, and they're a fun team to watch on film. Not a fun team to always play. You know, I mean, because at their, you know, their home court, they really took care of business this year. So I'm anxious to see how they're going to do in a tournament setting with, you know, just a new staff and a new, you know, new direction. And I think they're going to play very tough. I mean, you know, and I think they've got a lot of confidence going up against us. They beat us at home, at their home, by 2, and then we beat them here pretty easily. And we played really well, and they didn't. You know, so. You know, they didn't shoot it very well, and I thought we had a little bit to do with that. You know, we changed our game plan and changed our matchup. And, you know, I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I think it's a great matchup, though.
In our final minute, let me slide in before Newspaper Boy here. How big of a factor has been the X on the back? Have you seen that you've really gotten against the really good teams in this league? I mean, they're 120% effort because you're the 2-time defending champ, and it's the Twins, and it's the Cowgirls, and it's Brooks Donald-Williams, and all the success.
Not 120. I think we get about 150.
There you go. Okay.
You know, and that's part of, you know, and Kevin's question too. I mean, part of the inexperience, the half of my team that's inexperienced don't understand that X on the back because they weren't really a part of the X on the back growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what I'm talking about, I guess, is them finally trying to follow suit with the Twins, because the Twins understand why everybody wants to beat us every given night, you know? And that's an awesome, I mean, I'll take that any day because our program has earned that. You know, the kids that came before the Twins and the Twins earned that big X, you know? And that's a special thing. And it's time for us to kind of step up and take, you know, get a little fire in us about having that X on our back.
Let me slide in front of Hugo Boss here for a second.
I just couldn't skip,
get mine. I just couldn't get it in with Coach.
I gotta ask you this.
Couldn't get it in.
I gotta ask you this though. I know what you're gonna say, but for the viewers and the fans, last week, I felt like I had to argue that the Baggett twins were the best in the history of the program. I literally felt like I had to argue the point to these two guys.
Come on.
Well, I wasn't arguing. I was just trying to
think if Magic Johnson's sister played here.
Make sure I hadn't missed anybody.
If there was a girl version of Joe Dumars, is that what we're doing?
There you go.
Exactly
well,
in your opinion,
that's exactly what it was.
You've seen a lot of women's basketball around the region and the country for this program at this time.
That's a tough question for Coach.
No, it isn't. No, the best.
Well, yeah, because you said about,
Yeah.
they are two people.
Yeah, exactly, Scooter.
They may be twins, but they are two people. So now she's got to do Sophie's choice.
Exactly what I'm saying.
She's got to do Sophie's choice here. Which one?
You see what I'm saying?
I was
trying to defend you, Coach.
What I'm saying is, Coach,
trying to defend you, Coach.
The best at their position. The best point guard, the best two guard.
They're both.
They don't break it down by position.
Let me say this. I've only been at McNeese this is my 6th season, okay? So I can only go on what, maybe former coaches
grew up in this area.
Some of the, some of the other folks have said.
Yeah.
They're the best I've ever seen in this region.
Yeah.
I think they're two of the best in this region right now, including all the schools in the state.
Yeah.
There are not many people that can guard them, and there are not many people that they can't guard.
Could they play at LSU?
Did they?
Sure. Could they?
Could they? Absolutely.
Okay.
I would say yes to that too. I would.
Absolutely. I mean, we've played against some of the best in the country, and you talk to those coaches after the game. I mean, they struggled to guard the twins.
A&M 2 years ago.
A&M. Last season, A&M at A&M, we had them on the wire. Kentucky last season at the end of the year. But I've coached at Memphis, and of course was at Mississippi State and Southern Miss, and Arkansas Little Rock. They're the best two kids as a whole. Student athletes, gym rats, feel for the game that I've ever coached.
High IQ.
High IQ.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all want to jump in on the last 30 seconds?
You just threw all kind of daggers at Coach.
No daggers. No daggers at all.
Coach Goodside.
I was really throwing daggers at you guys.
What are your feelings on playing this tournament in Katy? Do you like that?
I love it, Scooter.
Really?
I really do. For our student athletes, I think it's a great opportunity to get the NCAA tournament feel. They go to a neutral site, and it's really put on very well. I mean, it's very professionally done. I think it's great. I think it's great for our kids to be in that setting, and I think it also prepares the winner for the next step, which is the NCAA tournament, or NIT. Where
I was about to argue with you, but I got.
We're out of time.
I love it.
Can you give us time and everything on Wednesday so we'll know?
Yes, we play at 11 o'clock. We tip off. We are tipping off first game of the tournament.
Yeah.
11 o'clock on Wednesday at the Merrill Center in Katy.
Katy, Texas. If Kevin would, if he would listen, I said that at the top of the show. It's okay. Coach,
I am more into listening to Coach than you, believe me.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Scooter.
Great coach. Still the best smile in college basketball. Brooks Donald Williams. Short pause. We're coming right back to Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
At Tarver Ford, when we do a truck sale, we do it big, like 10 grand off big.
Come see us today and take 10 grand off MSRP on brand new 2012 Ford F-150s, F-250s, and F-350s. Take your pick, then take $10,000 off MSRP, 11 grand off MSRP if you finance with Ford. Plus, 0% for 60 months is available, 0 for 60.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford off I-10 exit 21 in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
What is it about Luxair cooling products that deliver the comfort you've been wishing for? Is it their energy-saving performance? Those super cozy moments with loved ones? Or perhaps it's that great feeling you get in helping those wishing for a little comfort of their own. For over a decade, we've been helping deliver hope, strength, and joy to Make-A-Wish children and families at a time when they need it most. Find out how Luxair home comfort products will make you feel really good this season. Luxair, the comfort you've been wishing for.
All right, many thanks to Brooks Donald-Williams and Cowboys head coach Dave Simmons for coming in to Jack Daniels, talk with us about the Southland Conference basketball tournament coming up in Katy, Texas. They're both playing on Wednesday. Cowgirls at 11, Cowboys at 5. They got 4 games to win to possibly win the championship and get into the NCAA. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll wrap it up on next week's show on how they fared. Let me ask you a point-blank question. What does daylight savings time, T-ball, and Little League Baseball all have in common, along with Big Easy Foods? What is the common denominator there? Daylight savings time, T-ball practice, which I know well now, and Little League Baseball, all starting up. What does all that have to do? Big Easy Foods. What do you think?
Big Easy Foods.
Yeah,
Big
what do you
Easy
think? No idea? That's because you don't have young kids practicing T-ball practice till 7:30 and 8 o'clock at night on school nights. Big Easy Foods, at this time of year, parents don't have time to cook food.
I was going to say that, Rick. Quick.
I don't know if that qualifies as having something in common. Big Easy can be a solution to the other three, but I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah.
Of course you would. Shrimp etouffee.
I'm calling BS on
Shrimp,
that. Okay.
Think of shrimp etouffee.
I was going to say dinner. I was going to say that.
All credit to all the coaches out there.
Yeah.
But these practices and games run long. With T-ball and Little League, you're home, you don't have time
Daylight
to cook.
savings times, it
Go
gets
to
you
your
every time.
favorite retailers across Southwest Louisiana
Gets you every time.
and check out the microwavable instant dinners from BigEasyFoods.com. One of them is shrimp etouffee, and I love shrimp etouffee.
I do too, Rick.
And it's great stuff. It's made right here in Lake Charles. Big Easy Foods. Check it out at your local store because it is, and let me tell you, a lot of peanut butter and jelly at Big Easy Foods is not in the refrigerator or the freezer. All right, SEC tournament. Florida Gators, heavy favorite. UK upsets them, if you want to call it that, a mile upset
Probably
over the
got
Gators.
Kentucky in the NCAA.
Yeah, probably
They were very much bubbling.
All right, can we expect any more surprises, or is it going to be UK, Florida, maybe Alabama? I don't know. Give me something.
I would be surprised if Kentucky makes the finals.
Yeah,
you would be surprised.
I like that Ole Miss team that beat LSU Saturday, and they've got a double bye. I mean, anybody can figure out this SEC tournament bracket. Come explain it to me. Some teams have double buys, some teams have one bye. That's another, like we were talking about the LHSAA. The SEC voted in 14 teams. Figure they'll solve all the problems later. Well, they haven't. So they've got these convoluted brackets and what have you. I really don't think this tournament is of much concern to LSU. They don't have a prayer. I mean, they could win their first game. Georgia, that's probably 50-50. I think Georgia did win the one game they played in the regular season, but it's not a bad matchup for LSU.
But I mean,
the winner gets Florida the next round and goes home.
Yeah.
You getting pumped about it? You getting pumped about March Madness?
I'm not.
Yeah, I can get into basketball, Rick. I can, honestly.
Why not? Why aren't you? What?
I mean, I can, but
I think next year will be different because I think next year Johnny Jones.
No. I didn't say LSU. I'm talking about March Madness.
No, not really.
But you know,
go ahead.
You know what was so colorful for me when I used to watch it back then? It wasn't always the players; it was the coaches. The coaches. The coaches made it. But now you've got some of them falling off that have retired, that have gone and everything. And you know what kind of gets me, guys? If you can remember, guys, many years back, that was an SEC team that was a national known product, and it seemed to have just gone away. That was Kentucky. You remember when Kentucky was...
No, Kentucky is still there. I mean, they're having an off year. Well, they won the national championship last year.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying...
It's the one place in the SEC that basketball matters.
Yeah.
But basketball
Kentucky
matters.
is just, you know,
Billy
it's
Gillespie
always been...
You know, that whole thing.
I mean, more so in basketball than football.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Of course, they're a basketball school.
That's just, you know...
The only reason I ask that because, look, it's very difficult to keep track of a lot, even a lot of the top 25 teams. But now all of a sudden...
does it matter?
Well,
I mean, what do you mean when you say that?
You're always screaming for this 16-team playoff in football.
8.
And
Don't get carried away. 8.
And you know, I mean, basketball really has become March Madness.
Yes.
And the rest of it doesn't matter.
And that's what I'm talking about, because
you want the same thing to happen to football?
Don't go down that road, Scooter.
No.
Okay.
But we can next week. No, what I'm saying is, following the storylines are starting to permeate and come out.
Yeah.
The big guy at Gonzaga. This story at Indiana. That's what hooks me. The stories, the coaches, the players. Now all of a sudden it's getting down to, you know, 25 or 30.
You turn the television on to watch those guys.
Of the 64, and now all of a sudden I find the storylines in the interest. That's what I'm talking about.
Some of those teams are going to have great storylines, Rick, that's going to make you want to watch them.
Yes. Gonzaga being one of them.
Exactly.
Indiana, you heard about the Indiana coach Tom Crean and what he laid into a Michigan assistant coach because that coach maybe helped them get on probation with Kelvin Sampson.
What?
I didn't see it, but I read about it. I mean, I didn't attack the guy verbally after just he beat him.
But you know the funny thing to me.
That's a great story. I love great
thing to me.
Story. Yeah,
and I think, I mean, this is an offshoot.
This is after a game.
This is kind of an offshoot of, you know, what's happened at LSU has happened all around the SEC to a degree in that. You know why the SEC basketball is having trouble getting anybody to pay attention? I would guess, I hadn't counted them exactly, but I would guess 8, 9, 10 of the 14 teams are starting spring football practice this week, and that is the big story on every campus except Kentucky.
As are the McNeese Cowboys. We'll talk about that in our last segment. We hopefully have time.
Nothing probably be discussed about Bama this year.
That's the case. Okay, the beauties are coming up next. They're going to try to stump the wise guys. All right, hang around for that when we come back.
Soundoff60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see the blue tags everywhere. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from Westlake, DeQuincy, Hackberry, Vinton, even coming across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. It's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
So, Todd, give me an example of what you got going on here.
Well, Joe, we got a $299 a month lease on the F-150 crew cab, and as always, complimentary lifetime oil changes. We've got a great group of people here working real hard to serve our customers.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
Miller Time. You won't find it on any clock or specific time zone. Miller Time isn't so much about when as it is about who. It's about the friends you go to bat for, the ones who'll be there when they say they will. Even if being there means crossing state lines with no questions asked. Because guys that leave nobody behind deserve a beer that leaves no taste behind. And with great friends and a great tasting light beer, it's not just a good time, it's Miller Time.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. The beauties are here. The ladies are LaBerge trying to stump the wise guys.
Yes.
We have the lovely Kayla and the lovely Haley. All right, quickly though. A couple of, when you guys paired up, it was a bun Monday. Monday bun day or something. We got a bun on Kayla and no bun. You missed the memo.
They both look
That's
lovely.
okay.
It's partially both our fault. She forgot, but I forgot to remind her.
Daylight savings time.
Messed
The
everybody
hour
up.
long.
I know.
That's it.
Daylight savings time. I know exactly what you're
All
saying.
right, the bell is more toward Gidry, so I don't know. Here we go. Starting off with Kayla.
All
Here we
right.
go.
Question number 1. Some of the most difficult golf courses around the world have earned nicknames. Let's test your knowledge on that subject.
We got it, Hobbs. Come on.
Do you
Are you ready?
This is you let her finish the question.
Yes. This is you and Todd.
Okay, Carnoustie Golf Link in Scotland is known by this nickname.
The monster. I don't know.
That's wrong. If you don't know why you
Just
think
say Dale Earnhardt. It worked for you before.
That's where the British Open
I
is.
said the monster.
It's called Carnoustie.
There you go. That's
Remember?
right.
Carnoustie.
That's right.
He blew up
Carnoustie. Okay, all right.
Well, that was too close to Carnoustie.
Good job,
All
Rick.
right, Haley.
All right, Tiger Woods won his 76th title at Doral in Miami. This course is also known as...
The Blue Monster.
Hey, look! Hey! I should have said it again.
That was just plain. You should have said it again.
You need to just stick with one thing like Dale Earnhardt. The whole day.
Was it Dale Earnhardt or?
No, it was Dale Earnhardt.
Yes, and Haley. Haley got out.
Basketball one too.
It was Dale.
All right, back to Kate.
Okay, designer Pete Dye's ocean course at Kiowa Island, South Carolina, is called by this name as well.
The Ocean Course.
The Ocean Course?
I mean, that's the official name of it.
Nickname.
That's the official name, the nickname.
If Scooter doesn't know, we don't need
It's
to.
called the Ryder Cup, the War by the Shore, when it was there.
What is it called?
The Ocean Course.
I know it's called the Ocean Course, but that's like its name.
Yeah, that's its real name.
Now, you're saying it's a name that the course is named for being by the ocean?
It's the nickname
I
of
think
the
they got us.
ocean
I have
course
no
at Kiowa
clue.
Island, South Carolina.
You got us, Kayla.
We stumped him again.
Ginger's
don't
not
got
gonna
it?
know.
You don't got it? Well, I'm trying to get
He's not.
Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt, that's correct.
What is it?
What was the basketball one? Was it Michael Jackson that she kept saying? Not Michael Jackson,
Michael
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jackson plays a lot of basketball.
You used to know.
Okay,
What
the
was
answer,
that one?
The answer is the Marquis de Sade.
Scooter, you should have known
No,
that.
I've never heard
I've
that.
never heard it referred
I've
to as
never
that.
heard that. All right.
You should have
Okay,
known.
bonus question.
There we
Come on,
go.
Snake up.
The PGA Tour heads to Innsbruck outside of Tampa Bay this week to play Copperhead, also nicknamed what?
Oh, no.
Rattlesnake.
You're
I
close.
thought
It's the
Copperhead.
toughest course I've ever played when I was in Tampa. The Snake Pit.
Correct.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, you never heard
Said
that
I
one?
knew it was
At
copper. I
least
knew
she said the name of
Copperhead.
the snake. That's all that counts. That's all that matters. A for effort.
Hey,
She's always trying to build you
we
up.
need a double
I am.
segment with you guys on here, okay?
Because we
This is
always
too short.
win
This is
one
too short.
with you
Yeah,
guys.
you do. You do.
We always stump you.
Kayla builds you up. Haley tears you down.
You know, happy medium.
Yeah,
It's a happy
yeah.
medium.
I'm all about the positive reinforcement thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ladies, we appreciate it.
Thank
you.
Thank y'all.
Great job, ladies.
You get us one out of them. All right, guys.
That was tough.
It was. Marquis de Sade.
That was tough.
Never heard
You
that.
know, while we're on the subject, I heard two interesting stats today. You know, for all the talk about, well, could Tiger be back? Could Tiger be back? You realize, you could say, where's he been? I mean, did he leave? He's won 5 of the last 19 tournaments he entered.
Yeah.
In
I didn't
golf,
know
that's
that,
pretty
Scooter.
good.
I didn't know
But
that.
he hasn't won
Which
that
is
major.
He hadn't won a
about,
major,
which is
though.
about his. I didn't realize this is the most amazing stat I've heard of. He has won 26% of the tournaments he paid off in. 26%.
Where did you find that at, Scooter? I didn't know that.
He hasn't won a major since 08.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he has faltered last year. He faltered on Saturday and
Well,
Sunday.
when you say
a lot.
08, Rick, remember now, he set out for the entire year, so you would actually, you can't say 08. I mean, he
might be
set
right
out
on that.
Well, he didn't
Portion of
play.
the year.
He didn't play with that
Portion of the
incident.
year. Yeah,
he didn't
but
play.
still, he's due for a major, and he will win. He will break Jack Nicklaus. I'm sorry, he will break Jack Nicklaus because, you know, if the knees hold up, he will. So he does win. They're getting ready to go to Tampa Bay to play Innsbruck and the Snake Pit. A little blurb, I heard this in the coverage that Rory McIlroy, local folks might want to know, that is going to play the Shell Houston Open.
I'm going to be there, by the way.
Did you hear an even better one?
Yeah.
You know, Lafayette has a very good web.com tournament.
Yeah.
Guess who's going to play in it?
Tell me.
Who?
John Daly.
Really?
Yeah.
John Daly.
Is going to play in Lafayette at the
That would be
web.com.
interesting, man.
It's normally in April sometime, but I don't know
Need to follow up on that. Need to follow up.
Yeah.
Louisiana Swashbucklers dropped their opener 51-40. Boy, they were shaky offensively.
Yeah, they were.
It didn't take long to replace the starting quarterback, Tim Curry, with Chris Mitchell. His first couple of passes were ducks. I mean, it looked like they were slipping out of his hand.
Yeah.
They got some work to do.
They do.
They got some work to do.
They do.
Not so much defensively against a two-time defending champ.
And you
Albany,
expect, I
they
mean,
did
that's,
okay.
Albany won it last year, so I mean, that was a matchup that, you know, you were going to say, okay.
You know, the kicker misses a couple of field goals. One of them was short. Block passes at the line of scrimmage. Okay.
They've got the
some
work cut
work
out
to
for them
do.
right
They
now.
got
They
got a week off.
They do.
return to the Civic Center on March 23rd to
Yeah.
take on a new team, Lehigh Valley. It's going to wrap it up for this week here at Jack
It's been a good
Daniels.
week.
A-plus show, guys. We appreciate it. Dave
Yes.
Simmons, Brooks Donald Williams.
Wish them all the best,
though,
on Wednesday.
Catch it in the rebroadcast. We'll see you next time, or we'll see you at the games, everybody.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.